Every time we turn on the TV, we see tanks, missiles, and border lines moving across world maps. We've all been led to believe that power is measured by armies. But to be honest, when you take a closer look at how the real world works, you realize that the real battle isn't fought on the front lines, but in much quieter places. For example, in balance sheets or in the data rooms of central banks. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a slightly different story. Two giants, Russia and China, who, on paper, challenge the world and proclaim they've forged a boundless friendship. But when we look behind that thick diplomatic curtain and examine the math behind it, what we see is not so much a friendship as one of the largest and quietest acquisition operations in history. Now let's pause and think for a moment. Just a few years ago, Russia's economic model was very simple. It held the energy spigot to Europe, sold gas, and earned billions of dollars and euros in return. Today, however, the picture has completely changed. As Western sanctions pushed Russia out of the global financial system, Moscow was left with only one option: Beijing. Russia is now selling its oil and gas to China at a discount. What does it get in return? The yuan. Did you know that today more than half of Russia's foreign trade is conducted in the Chinese currency? Yuan deposits in Russian banks have long since dethroned the dollar. At this point, I have to step in and ask this question. You may possess one of the world's largest nuclear arsenals. But if the gears of your country's factories, the prices of products in the market, and even the salary of your government employee are all at the mercy of your neighbor's currency, can you truly claim to be independent in the full sense of the word? In my view, this is less a state of independence and more a form of luxurious captivity. What really surprises me, however, are the developments surrounding the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline project. This project is of vital importance for keeping Russia's economy afloat. It will transport massive amounts of gas to China. Moscow is eager to sign the deal. So, what is China doing? Nothing. They're just waiting. Why should they rush? There's a golden rule in business. If there's only one buyer at the table, the seller doesn't set the price. China knows full well that Russia has no other options right now. And that's why it's making the Russians sweat at the negotiating table, demanding to buy Russian gas at a price nearly as low as the cheap subsidized rates in China's own domestic market. The once mighty Russian energy bear, which used to dictate prices to Europe, is now forced to settle for the crumbs left on the table by the Chinese dragon. That's why what's happening isn't just a trade deal. If you want to militarily occupy a country, you have to spend trillions of dollars, shed blood, and draw the hatred of the entire world upon yourself. But if you're patient enough, you quietly tie a country's economy to yourself through discounted energy contracts, your own currency, and your technological supply chains. Without firing a single shot, you effectively turn that massive country into your own subsidiary, your own supplier. This is exactly what China is doing right now, a flawless, silent, and irreversible invasion. In the New World Order, borders are no longer defined by maps. They are defined by economic power. If you enjoy this kind of content and don't see the economy as just headlines, you can subscribe to the EcoVantage report. See you in the next video.